guys, we're back on Show Jesus, and this week we're talking about happiness versus joy. And so the first verse I have for you guys is Psalms 5:11. But let all who take refuge in you rejoice. Let them sing joyful praises forever. Spread your protection over them, that all who love your name may be filled with joy. For you bless the godly. O Lord, you surround them with your shield of love. So what this verse is talking about is it's saying that all those who take refuge in Jesus and who follow him are filled with joy. Whether, we're going through things that are hard and maybe it doesn't feel like we're happy, we are filled with joy on the inside because we know that God will always be there for us. So, yeah, that's basically...
Yeah, the reason that I feel like we kind of wanted to talk about happiness versus joy to begin with is that joy is more of a constant thing, and you have it even through the trials and tribulations, and happiness can be gone in a second. You can be happy because you got something, and then 2 seconds later you're mad at somebody. So it's kind of just like having that eternal joy all the time through everything that you go through. And the verse that I have for you guys is 2 Timothy 1:4, and it says, "Recalling your tears, I long to see you, so that I may be filled with joy." And I think that verse kind of really sums up what we were talking about, because it's saying, recalling your tears, although he's going through something hard and just crying, he's like, I still long to see you, Lord, and you're what makes me happy.
And something I always think about is whenever you're walking close with the Lord and you have a personal relationship with him, it's kind of hard not to be joyful, because you're constantly reminded of his love for you, and you're constantly reminded of who's in control, and I just think that's really cool. So there's definitely a big difference between happiness and joy, to me especially, because happiness does seem more like a worldly thing, and joy seems more like an eternal thing. So I have a verse for y'all, and it is John 14:27. Peace I leave with you, my peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not be afraid. I think something that ties in, the reason I brought that up is because whenever you do have joy and you're feeling joyful, you have peace. And again, to tie in with the whole when you're walking close with the Lord, you just are joyful and you have peace, and because you know that he's in control, and you know that in the end he has the perfect plan for y'all. And so I think that's really cool.
Just a personal experience when it comes to happiness versus joy in my life is last year around this time I was faced with a lot of medical issues that I didn't know about, and it just really changed my life and the way I had to live. And there are a lot of things that happened to me, and I wouldn't really know why they were happening. And honestly, through that time, I really didn't live a joyful life. I had to choose every single day if I was going to pick up that problem and pick up self-consciousness, or if I was going to lay it down in front of the Lord. And most days I picked it up and I would carry it with me. And I'm still not perfect today when it comes to that, but I think I'm getting a lot better at it. And it's just a constant battle that you have to fight. But honestly, everyone's fighting it. Everyone has something that they're worried about in their life, and that they have to choose to pick up or not pick up every day. And I think it's really important to have that alone time with God, so that you can have the strength to lay it at his feet every morning.
Yeah, and I know personally struggle with just fear of I know specifically right now of school and the stress of college and jobs and money and all the things that I'm getting old enough now to realize that oh stink, I'm going to be dealing with this stuff. But you do have to pick it up every morning. You have to say, look, God, this is laid at your feet, and this is all yours, and my life is yours. And I don't know, I feel that just doing that, just taking that step and just giving it all to him, honestly just fills you with so much peace, and makes the fear melt away, and gives you the knowledge that you're not alone, which I think is important, because people feel alone, I feel whenever they're not joyful or they can't rely on certain things.
Yeah. that's ultimately what you have to do, is that you have to, you know, say, okay, you know what, I said I'm going to give my life to the Lord, then this is yours too. Because everything that goes on in your life, if you have given your life to the Lord, that is His. You have to give it to Him. And that's something you have to tell Him, because it's not, I mean, He knows when it's not given to Him. We can be like, oh yeah, this is all His, and this is great, and we're doing a great job, and really, we're still holding on to it. We just push it back in the back of our minds and cover things up and say, well, no, I'm not really doing that. It really is His. But He knows when we're giving something to Him and when we're not. So, I mean, every trial we go through, every happiness, things that we don't necessarily like to give up, especially things that are happy to us, we have to give to Him, because He's going to do what's best for us and what's best to glorify Him with what we give Him.
And I really think that joy comes with obedience, kind of like what Lana was talking about, how you have to lay it down at His feet and stuff. That is being obedient to Him, because that's what the Lord's called us to do. And by doing that every single day and being obedient and doing what He has told us to do, is when we get peace, and it is when we get joy. And it's weird because you don't really think of peace and joy being like synonyms, I guess, but I really feel like they are. Just from talking just now, they go hand in hand. Like, when you have peace, you have joy, and when you have joy, you have peace.
Yeah.
And I think we as Christians are meant to be joyful. Like, I think also we as Christians are held to a different standard, and that standard is to kind of always be happy and, you know, be like the shining light, and that's what God calls us to be. And so that joy just should come naturally to us, and definitely something that you should pray about if you don't necessarily feel joyful, but once you do, it's amazing. So.
And don't forget to show Jesus everywhere you go.
So good. High five.